I need to tell you something before it's too late. That person you're trying to become, the perfect version of yourself you think exists somewhere out there, they don't exist. I'm Robert, 81 years old, and I spent 50 years of my life pretending to be someone I wasn't, trying to live up to an image that was killing me from the inside. 50 years, half a century of my own life, and I barely lived any of it. So stay with me for a few minutes because what destroyed me for decades, I'm going to try to save you from right now. And maybe, just maybe, you'll actually live your life instead of performing it like I did. We all wear masks. We all tell ourselves stories. When I lose the weight, I'll start living. When I get confident, I'll go after what I want. When I'm successful enough, I'll stop feeling like a fraud. When people see me the way I want to be seen, then I'll finally relax. I told myself these things every single day for 50 years. And you know what? I lost the weight. I built the confidence, or at least I faked it well enough. I became successful. People saw me exactly how I wanted them to see me. And I was more miserable than I'd ever been, because the person they were looking at wasn't real. And I knew it. Deep down, I knew it. The applause was for someone else, someone I was pretending to be. Let me tell you something about myself that still makes me sick to think about. I grew up in Boston, working-class neighborhood, nothing fancy. My older brother Tommy, he was everything I wasn't. Confident, athletic, popular, easy smile. People loved Tommy. They gravitated toward him like he was the sun and they were planets. And me? I was the quiet one, the serious one, the one people forgot was in the room. I remember being 12 years old, standing in the corner at Tommy's birthday party, watching everyone laugh at his jokes, and I made a decision that day. I decided I was going to be someone people couldn't ignore. I was going to be important, so that's what I became. Or tried to become. I studied hard, got into a good college, law school after that, became a prosecutor, then a defense attorney, made partner at a firm in Manhattan by the time I was 38. People knew my name. I won cases. I wore expensive suits. I said the right things at the right times. And I hated every single minute of it, every minute. But I couldn't stop, because stopping meant admitting that the person I'd built, this confident, successful, important version of Robert, was a construction, a performance. And if I wasn't him, then who was I? That scared me more than anything. So I kept going, kept performing. I remember when I was 55, I won this huge case. Front page of the business section. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. People congratulating me, wanting to take me to dinner, wanting to be associated with the win. And I sat in my apartment that night alone, looking at my reflection in the window, and I didn't recognize myself. I saw my face. But I didn't know who that person was. I'd spent so long being who I thought I should be that I'd completely lost track of who I actually was. Took me another 20 years to face that, to really face it. Here's what I finally understood, and this is the thing I need you to hear. I wasn't building a career, I wasn't building success, I was building a wall. A wall between me and the world, between me and the truth that I was terrified. Terrified that if people saw the real me, the uncertain me, the me who didn't have all the answers, they'd see what I saw. Nothing special, just some kid from Boston who never felt like he was enough. So I gave them someone else to look at, someone impressive, someone important, someone who had it all figured out. And they believed it. Everyone believed it, except me. You can't hide from yourself. You can hide from everyone else, but you can't hide from yourself. Late at night, when it's quiet, when there's no one to perform for, you know the truth. You know who you really are. And if there's a gap between who you are and who you're pretending to be, that gap will eat you alive. It ate me alive for 50 years. Same thing happened with my relationships. Different story, same mistake. I met Sarah when I was 32. Beautiful woman, kind, patient, saw something in me I didn't see in myself. We got married when I was 34, and I loved her. I really did. But I couldn't let her see me, the real me. I thought if she saw my doubts, my fears, the fact that I was making it all up as I went along, she'd leave. She'd see through me like everyone else would eventually see through me. So I kept the mask on, even at home, even with her. I was the successful attorney, the provider, the one who had everything under control, and she tried. She tried to reach me. She'd ask me how I was really doing, what I was really thinking, and I'd give her the rehearsed answer, the safe answer, the answer that kept the wall up. I remember one night we'd been married maybe 15 years. She was sitting on the edge of the bed and she just started crying. And I asked her what was wrong. She looked at me and said, "Robert, I don't know you. We've been married for 15 years and I don't know you. You won't let me know you." And I told her she was wrong. I told her she knew me better than anyone, but she shook her head. She said, "I know the person you show me. I don't know the person you are." She was right, and I still couldn't let the wall down. We stayed married another 18 years. She died 3 years ago. Cancer. And one of my biggest regrets, one of the things that keeps me up at night, is that she died never really knowing me, because I was too afraid to let her in. I'm 81 now. Most of my colleagues are retired or gone. And I've watched how people age. I've watched how this whole performance thing plays out over a lifetime. The ones who are still performing, still pretending, still keeping up the image, they're exhausted. They're miserable. They're angry at the world for not giving them what they think they deserve. I got a friend, Martin, he's 79, and he's still trying to prove he's the smartest person in the room. Still correcting people, still one-upping stories, still needing everyone to know how important he used to be. And nobody wants to be around him. Nobody. He's alone because he never learned how to be real. I got another friend, Janet. She's 82, and she spent her whole life trying to be perfect. Perfect house, perfect appearance, perfect life. And now she's old, and her house is still perfect, and she's still miserable because perfection isn't real. It's a prison. She built a prison, and she's been living in it for 60 years. But then I got other friends. And these people, they're different. They're free in a way I'm only just learning to be. They don't care what people think anymore. They don't care about impressing anyone. They just are who they are, and there's something beautiful about that. My friend Lou, he's 84, and this man has more peace than anyone I've ever met. He's not rich. He's not important. He's not impressive. He's just Lou. He tells bad jokes. He admits when he's wrong. He asks for help when he needs it. He's completely, totally himself. No pretense, no performance, just a human being human. And people love him, really love him, not because of what he's accomplished or how he looks or what he can do for them. They love him because he's real. That's the difference. It's not about success. It's not about achievement. It's about whether you've stopped pretending, whether you've let people see you, the actual you. You want to know what real peace feels like? I'll tell you. It's not winning. It's not being right. It's not having people admire you. Real peace is when you stop needing to be anything other than what you are. When someone criticizes you and instead of defending, performing, proving them wrong, you just think, okay, maybe they're right, and it doesn't destroy you. When you can sit in a room full of successful people and not feel less than, when you can sit in a room full of failures and not feel better than, when you can just be, no mask, no performance, just you, that's peace. And most people never find it because they're too busy protecting the image. Here's the trap, and this is important. You think the mask protects you. You think if you show people who you really are, they'll reject you. But here's the truth. They already don't know you. You're already alone. The mask doesn't protect you. It isolates you. I spent 50 years hiding behind success, behind competence, behind this image of having it all together, and I was completely alone the entire time. Not because people didn't want to know me, because I wouldn't let them. The mask was supposed to make me safe. Instead, it made me a prisoner, and I'm the one who built the cell. Nobody forced me. I did it to myself. When Sarah got sick, when we knew she was dying, something in me broke, or maybe something finally opened. I don't know. But I stopped performing. I stopped trying to be strong, stopped trying to have it together, stopped trying to fix everything. I just broke down. Right there in the hospital room, I just fell apart. And you know what she did? She took my hand and she said, "There you are. I've been waiting 30 years to meet you." That's when I understood. The thing I was hiding, the vulnerability, the fear, the not having answers, that wasn't the thing that would make people leave. That was the thing that would let them in. But I learned it too late. 50 years too late. Everything I was afraid of, being seen as weak, uncertain, not having it all figured out, that's what makes us human. That's what connects us. And I spent my whole life running from it, hiding it, pretending it didn't exist. What a waste. What a tremendous waste. Young people think they have to have it all figured out. They think they need to be impressive, important, perfect. I thought that too. But nobody has it figured out. Nobody. The people who seem like they do, they're just better at hiding it. They're just performing better than you are. And that performance costs them everything. It cost me everything. So if you're walking around pretending to be someone you're not, trying to live up to some image, some version of yourself that doesn't exist, stop. Just stop. Because that image will never be satisfied. You'll never be good enough for it. You'll never be successful enough, confident enough, perfect enough. It's a race you can't win. The finish line moves. I know because I ran that race for 50 years. And when I finally stopped, when I finally took the mask off, when I finally let people see me, actually see me, you know what happened? Nothing terrible. Nobody ran away. Nobody rejected me. Some people didn't care. But the people who mattered, they got closer. They finally got to know me. And I got to know them. Real connection. Real relationships. The thing I'd been looking for my whole life. I'd been preventing it by trying so hard to be impressive. So, here's what I want you to take from all this. Stop performing. Stop trying to be impressive. Stop hiding behind the image. Whatever you think people need you to be, you're wrong. What they need is for you to be real. To be honest. To be human. That's it. That's all anyone really wants. I'm 81 years old. I spent 50 years of my life pretending to be someone I wasn't. And the only thing I know for sure now is this. The person you really are, with all the doubts and fears and uncertainties, that person is enough. More than enough. You don't need to be anyone else. You just need to stop hiding. If this meant something to you, share it with somebody who's exhausted from pretending, who's tired of performing, who's ready to just be themselves. And tell me in the comments, who are you pretending to be? What mask are you wearing? What would happen if you took it off? Subscribe if you want more of these conversations.